Welcome to the Northumberland Festival of the Arts. My name is Shane Joseph, and in this series we feature interviews and discussions with individual artists, leaders of arts groups and organizations, civic leaders, and art lovers in our county. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing the artistic director of the Cameco Capital Arts Centre, Susan Ferley. Welcome, Susan.
Hello, Shane. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you for joining us. So Susan, I'm going to ask you a few questions. And of course, the first one in my mind is, what does art mean to you?
As a theater artist, for me, it's about community and collaboration. Those are two things that help define theater. It's about writers who are creative artists, the playwrights, composers who create the music, actors who are interpretive artists, and also creative artists in their own right, in that they bring the characters to life and the text to life. There's designers who are visual artists, singers, musicians, choreographers who interpret along with dancers. So it's many art forms, in fact, coming together to create theater. So for me, it's about a community of artists who come together to collaborate, and together they create a story. But the sense of community then extends because theater doesn't exist without an audience. So the work of all those artists, and generally the most visible, the actors, come together with the audience. And there is a heightened communication that takes place between the artists and the audience. So it's that communication, that heightened communication with an audience that's not just intellectual, but also an emotional communication and psychophysical, in the sense of an audience perceiving from all their senses and interpreting story and being moved not only intellectually and emotionally, but psychologically, and often most vibrantly emotionally. So that's the art of theater, I guess, for me.
That's great. That's great. I'm also glad that you mentioned the aspect of community, because that's what we're also all about.
Yeah.
Trying to bring the community of various arts groups we have together to a big bang presentation, if you will, this festival. So talking of the community and your organization, what specifically does your organization do in the Northumberland arts scene?
Well, the Cameco Capital Arts Centre, and usually often referred mostly as the Capitol Theatre, because of its rich history in the community. The theatre produces professional theatre. The theatre presents the work of theater and other professional artists. So whether that's music or visual art or dance or writers sharing their work. So we present that. And we also host or provide a venue for community and community arts groups. We strive to provide our audience, our community in our region with access to all the arts, primarily theater, certainly, but all the arts. We strive to provide lifelong learning, opportunities to explore theater arts, but also the many other art forms that are part of theater. We strive to forge partnerships, not only with artists and arts organizations, but more broadly with our community, with our audience, and also businesses in our community. And well, with our historic venue that is now over 90 years old, we're also the stewards of this nationally designated historic site in our community in Port Hope, but also in Northumberland.
Great. What are your hopes for arts in Northumberland, and especially how can you help in the economy in this particular time?
Well, certainly those partnerships I was talking about are important. Anything we do, we're striving to find ways to collaborate and support our partners. You know, we're hoping later in the summer we'll be able to offer what we're calling under the marquee opportunities for artists to perform outside by the theater, in front of the theater, under the marquee. And we're hoping we can provide an opportunity for audiences to come together and in collaboration, hopefully with some restaurants in our neighborhood, provide them with another venue whereby they can serve people their fare at the theater or near the theater. So we're looking at that. I feel the arts constantly support the economy of a community. They bring people, the arts bring people out of their homes, whether it's to see a play or to go to a dance performance or to hear music. They're leaving their homes. In doing that, especially now coming out of the pandemic, it's an occasion to celebrate. It's an occasion to support beyond the one activity, to go to a restaurant, to make it a special occasion as we start to emerge from our homes and come together again as community. Personally, for me, the challenges of the past year have also provided me with opportunities. I've had an opportunity to get to know artists in our community. The theater has tried to work with local musicians to provide opportunities for them to rehearse here at the theater. We've provided opportunities for musicians and artists to stream their work from the Capitol Theatre. So those things, those connections that are being made has been great for me to get to know the local community. I come out of the professional theater community, and that's great. But what's been special about living in Port Hope is having an opportunity to get to know the local artists. So those connections have been great. I've also got to know members of the local acting community, and we're looking forward to assembling a cast for a 90-minute version of The Importance of Being Earnest. It'll be an adaptation with some contemporary twists, and we plan to rehearse this summer, and fingers crossed we will be able to perform to a socially distanced audience on the Capitol stage come the fall. So yeah, so looking to the future, I think we've also observed people leaving the city. Mm-hmm. And as people leave the city, it will be artists as well who will be leaving the city. So I think we're going to continue to see the arts community in Northumberland County continuing to grow and to flourish.
That's very good to hear, because in fact, the festival itself is going to be doing very similar things, trying to bring these artists together, have open air shows, maybe theater, readings, poetry. And so I think there's some great opportunities here for synergies, if you will, between your organization and the festival. So we're looking forward to some of that collaboration as we go forward.
Yes, certainly.
What can the Northumberland Festival of the Arts do for you, or how can we work with you as an arts organization going forward?
Yeah, well, I think things are happening now. I mean, you're reaching out, forming partnerships with artists, with groups, artistic groups, sorry about that, and organizations. You're providing showcases, and you're celebrating the arts and communicating that excitement with the broader community. So I think what you're doing is great. There will be more to celebrate as we move forward. So let's hang on to that spirit of collaboration, of partnership, and ideally, hopefully soon, that feeling of celebration as we bring artists and community together.
Good. No, I'm looking forward to that too. It's been a long year, and we need to get beyond this. So thank you very much, Susan, for your time. This has been good and good information for our side of the organization to look at, and hopefully reach out to you in the areas where we can collaborate. And thank you, viewers, for watching and for listening. And hope you will tune in for other events like this, and when we meet with notable personalities in our community to talk about the arts. Thank you very much.